Okay, conditional navigation. This is going to be several parts, so just bear with me. I'd also like to do badging, but that could take a while. First things first is this is probably a pretty common slide that you've seen in any and all online training. And what you got here is three instances, labeled 1, labeled 2, labeled 3. Okay, nothing crazy there. But the idea is you want the learner to cover all three of these, okay? And you don't want them to continue on. You can see here the next is a little grayed out until they've reached all three of these. That's called, I think it's called gated. Yeah, if it is or not, I don't know. So just think about it, it's gated. So what we want to first do is make sure the next button is set to an initial state of hidden. We did that quite a bit in the comic strip, and that's what you're going to want to do here. So set the initial state of this next button to hidden, okay? And that way, and I'm going to go ahead and preview this slide right now. You can see by doing that, I have everything on the slide that I need with the exception of that next button. So that's not there, and that's okay because we don't want it to be. But what we do want to do is, as you can see, we have three areas. What we want to do is be able to click number 1 and then go to number 2 and then click number 3. But as it's set up currently, you can only go to 1. Because number 2 here, I'm clicking. I don't know if you can hear me click. It's me clicking. I cannot go, and I cannot go to 3. So this is kind of, again, it's called gated. So definitely want them to start at 1, then go to 2. What I did there was if you click on number 2, and this is all set up for you. That's not any of my concern how you guys set this up. But as you can see, my initial state down at the bottom here is set to disabled. And disabled is exactly what you think it is. It's disabled. You're unable to click on it. And that is, I do believe, automatic. So let me just add a button quick and see if that's automatic. I don't remember. So insert button. Go with this one. Oh, yeah. See, so you can see that disabled is actually a default setting within any button. So all I did, is this is gray here, you can see, all I did was edit states. I went to the disabled state and then changed color of it. So that's all I did. Okay? So I'm going to say done editing and get rid of that. So needless to say, there's going to be multiple things that we'll have to do here when we do some clicking. So here we are at the timeline. Of course, we know how to do this. You see that I have a number here, and then I have layers that correspond with the numbers. See that? 1, 2, and 3. So all I'm going to say is, let's see, I want to show a layer, right? I'm going to say show layer, show layer 1 when user clicks 1, so labeled nicely, right? 1 and 1. And while I'm here, I'm just going to go ahead and say show layer 2 when user clicks 2. Okay. And I might as well just do a copy, click on 3, paste, and change this to 3 when user clicks 3. Okay, so no big deal. All I did, which we've done a million times, is say show 1 when they click on 1, 2, and then subsequently stuff there. But that doesn't solve everything, does it? As you can see now, I'm going to go ahead and click on number 1. I can get this number 1 information, but number 2, you can hear me clicking, is still disabled, as is 3. So we have options here, right? One thing we can do is make this automatic. So when once I click on number 1 here, I can not only show the layer, but I can make this go to the normal state. But what I like to do is go into this layer 1 here, and you see that it's set to about 3 seconds. So what I like to do is kind of give that a bit of a delay. That way they're not so quick to jump to the next one. So what I can say here, bear with me here, you can see is I can say change state of. What I want to change the state of is number 2, right? Because I'm clicking on 1. Of course, I want them to go to number 2 next. So I click on number 2. And it says to state, not done, but to state normal, right? Because it's in the disabled. And here it says the when timeline starts. No, I want to do it when the timeline ends. So I'm going to go ahead and say when timeline ends. And of course it's going to be this timeline, the one that we're in, so that's layer 1. So now I'm basically going to click on number 1. Layer 1 is going to show. The playhead is going to cruise along, as it does. And then when it gets to the end here, it is then going to set this disabled number 2 to normal, so we can actually click on it. So let's see what happens there. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to click on number 1. Number 1 shows up. And then once that timeline ends, you can see number 2 now shows up. And I can click on that. I'm good to go. But of course, wait for it. Number 3 doesn't work. So we'll have to do the same. So now I'm just going to jump in here to slide. Oh, you know what? I'm going to copy this. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this. Copy. Go to layer 2 and paste. Double click to make sure. Change state of 2. Nope. I want to change state of 3, right? So that's the next one in succession. To normal when timeline ends, and then of course it's this layer. I hit OK. So now we should be good. We got number 1. Click. Wait for it. 2. Click. Wait for it. 3. Click. There we go. So now we have successfully clicked all 3 of these, but our next button, where is it? It's not here. Nothing's going on. So that's next. We have to get that button to appear. Excuse me, ready on. Let's see. So we have to assess the situation. We have, what do we have? We have states. So it's set to normal, disabled, then normal, disabled, then normal. So essentially, the one thing that we can do is say we want that next button to show up when all 3 of these buttons are in the normal state, right? Let's see, how can we do that? I'm going to go to this here, right, when in doubt. So I know I want to change the state, and I know I want to change the state of the next button, and I know I want it to be normal. And right now it says when timeline starts, but that's not when I want it to happen. I want it to happen when the state of all 3 of these is normal. So it says when, I can cruise through here, let's see, I can, and then here I see state. So now I can click on state, and it's saying all of, okay? So now I get to pick the ones that I want. Luckily I labeled these well. So I can say when 1, when 2, and when 3 are normal. That makes sense, right? So I'm going to change the state of the next button to normal when the state of 1, 2, and 3 are normal. And that makes sense because if you think 1 is set to normal, that's fine. But the other 2 are disabled. And they will not be set to normal until all 3 sections are set to normal. Excuse me, visited. So let's see what happens now. If you click on 1, hey, why did it pop up? Actually, I don't want to do that, do I? I believe I misled you there because let's see what I have here. I have states, hover, done. Done is what I wanted to do. As you can see, I have that cute little thing there. So it's not normal by any means, it's done. So that means I gotta go all the way back. And not only do I want to change the state to normal of number 2, but I want to change the state of 1 to done. Of course, timeline ends, okay? So does that make sense? So not only do I want to say, hey, make sure number 2 here becomes normal, but go ahead and set 1 to done so they know they visited it. Visited. Visit. They were there. Okay? So there we go. And now I'm going to do the same thing. I like copying and pasting, so I'll copy that, paste that. Now I'm going to say change 2 to done when timeline ends, right? That's fine. And then I'm going to go to 3. And let me say change state of 3 to done when timeline ends, which makes a lot more sense than normal. So now I can come back here, and I want to change the state of next to normal when the state of all of those buggers, 1, 2, is set to done. There you see it at the bottom. So now let's give that a shot. Here we go. So no next button. Click on 1. Wait for it. Got my check and the other one. Click on 2. Got my check. And 3 came about. Here you can see I got my 3rd check, and miraculously the next button then appeared. Okay? So that is one efficient way to ensure that everything is visited. Now, I'm sure some of you probably saw and can tell that this was very gated in the sense that I didn't want to go to 2 until 1. And then, so what I could have said simply, without any of these states, and let me do that quick just to show you. I'm going to go ahead and delete this one that I said change the state of. You know as well as I do that what I could have done is, when I'm in 3 here, I could have just said change the state of next to normal when timeline ends. So because it was gated, because I went 1, 2, and 3 in order like that, I could have just simply said, hey, go ahead and change that next to normal once you've gotten to this 3rd area here. So there's some ways to do this, obviously. What you want to do then here is another way, but I'm going to come back to that once we've gone through the variable part of this. And same with this one. So the other one's going to be numbers and stuff like that. Okay? So that is gated 1. When we come back, I'm going to do variables, and then we're going to do a variable gated for the other 2. Thank you.